I take this opportunity to thank you, sir, most sincerely for my appointment as the third chairman of this great institution. Reflecting on today's theme of green schools and commercialization of tree growing, KFS intends to achieve the 10% forest cover goal by engaging 35,000 primary and secondary schools in the country in tree planting. To achieve this, we have proposed to reach and engage 7,000 schools each year for the next 5 years at an approximate cost of Kenya shillings 1 million each school. This amounts to a whopping 35 billion in the next 5 years. This will equip and ensure each school has the skills, capacity and infrastructure to green its compound and significantly influence the greening of the local environment and improve livelihoods. At this point, Your Excellency, I humbly request you, sir, to be the patron of this monumental initiative, which I propose to be coordinated by the Ministry of Environment, Water and Natural Resources, and implemented by Kenya Forest Service. And with those many remarks, Your Excellency, thank you very much, na karibu sana uwe patron wetu. Asante.
Your Excellency, mine is to sincerely thank you for accepting to come and launch this very unique and integrated model of greening of our schools in Nyandarua Michinda Primary School. As a ministry, we are very, very privileged to have you here and Your Excellency to see to it that this great integrated model where we are planting trees and ensuring that trees grow in our schools and that the trees also grow in the neighborhood and with our communities, that this program involves the fencing of the schools to ensure that the trees grown are protected and they grow. This integrated and model involves providing gutters to collect water to ensure that the trees that have been grown, and today we actually planted 2,000 seedlings, will indeed be watered. And in front of you, Your Excellency, you can see a huge tank that can take up to 10,000 liters of water, and branded Kenya 50 is to ensure that the trees we are going to grow in our schools and within the neighborhood of those schools will indeed grow and make Kenya green. Your Excellency, we are doing this with the support of the county governments. We are engaging with the county governments in this initiative. We are also engaging with the Ministry of Education and several other ministries to ensure that this project and program is rolled over all our counties and through to the 35,000 schools in this nation.
It gives me great pleasure to be here with you today. Much of what I wanted to say in terms of the Green Schools program and commercial tree growing for our Green Economy program has already been said by the previous speakers. So in order to make up the time, it is my humble duty and pleasure to simply welcome His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, to give us his address. Please welcome your President.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to be here today on this very auspicious occasion of the launch of the Green Schools and commercial tree growing for a green economy, which indeed is one of the key events as we celebrate Kenya at 50. As we commemorate this landmark milestone in the history of our nation and reflect on our achievement, we should at the same time refocus our energies and resources on one of the most important aspects of the continued prosperity of our great nation. It is indeed well established that our environment and its conservation are the anchor and pivot upon which all our economic activities depend. Indeed, our very survival as a human race solely depends on the sustainable use and management of our environment. Indeed, there is no sector of our economy that does not depend on the environment. These include the provision of food and raw materials such as timber, fuel wood, medicines, and a list of other products. Besides other benefits such as climate amelioration, biodiversity sinks, water and carbon sequestration. Despite all this knowledge, we as a people have been guilty of plundering our national wealth and treating our environment as mere chattels whose function are often exchanged for agriculture, social amenities, and infrastructural development. In the past, indeed, a standalone approach was adopted in the management of the various sectors of the economy, where the intricate linkages between one and other aspects were largely unappreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, as a result, the environment was not valued for the fundamental role it plays in the continued well-being of our citizens, and was not accorded requisite resources for conservation and development in tandem with the emerging needs of the country. We are now wiser, having learned the harsh but unforgettable lessons as a consequence of our past actions. Environmental conservation must be seen against the backdrop of economic development, whose targets are clearly embedded in our economic blueprint, the Vision 2030, as well as our Constitution 2010. These national aspirations must be broken down into specific programs with clear and high-impact deliverables under the medium-term plans. We are committed to conserving the environment to deliver our growth objectives, as indeed is enshrined in our Vision 2030. It would not be simplistic to say that some of that growth is actually anchored in our trees. First, we envision a robust, diversified, and competitive manufacturing sector through the use of local raw materials. A significant portion of this sector relies on wood. Besides the production of many tree-based products, providing the required wood and non-wood tree-based raw materials is therefore critical for the continued performance of this sector. Linked to this is the search for renewable sources of energy and efficient use of this scarce resource, as well as alternative sources of energy. Second, we aspire to achieve and maintain a clean, secure, and stable environment. The place of trees and forests in ensuring a sustainable environment cannot be overemphasized. Indeed, as we join the global war against climate change, whose negative impacts have been felt far and wide in terms of increased human diseases, declining agricultural yields, and reduced water stream flows, tree planting and forest conservation remains a key element of the mitigation strategy as we endeavor to reverse this undesirable phenomenon. Third, it is our duty to provide adequate, decent, and affordable housing solutions to the nation in a sustainable environment. The construction industry is heavily dependent on wood as a building material. Our envisioned target of delivering 200,000 housing units per annum would be unachievable unless concerted efforts are made to ensure that the supply of timber from sustainable sources is at par with this target. Third, water indeed is life and key to all our conservation measures, and must be the provision, and key to all our conservation measures must be the provision of potable water for all our citizens, as well as for other economic activities. And lastly, conflict between communities is often precipitated by the scramble for scarce resources such as water and pasture. We will ensure participatory and sustainable management of these resources as an important aspect of guaranteeing lasting peace amongst communities. We are here to launch the Green Schools program under the theme Green Schools and Commercial Tree Growing for a Green Economy. This program will embrace an integrated approach involving multiple stakeholder participation. The program will, through tree planting as an entry point, demonstrate simple technological interventions for sustainability, such as energy production and consumption, including the use of energy-saving stoves, biogas production plants, and solar panels for powering laptops. Rainwater harvesting and storage, waste management, including the recycling of e-waste, just to mention but a few. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for your efforts to protect our forests and to conserve our environment. Asanteni sana.
Dua,